Welcome in, everyone, to episode 51 of the Memes, Dreams, 32 Teams podcast. We are back with another episode. I'm Justin.
I'm Eddie and Maggie.
And Maggie, look at Maggie. If you're watching us live on Twitch or on YouTube, you can see the beautiful puppy in Maggie. But today we're going to be talking about Week 9 and Week 10. Officially half of the regular season in the books.
The regular season.
Done. Gone. We ain't getting it back. I don't know how I feel about
on a scale of, I was about to say, on a scale of 1 to 10, can you give me how much you've enjoyed this season, I guess, from a football perspective, from a viewer perspective?
I'm going to say 8. The
Now,
reason being is 2 points are docked because 9,000 players are injured.
Yes, yeah.
Because I don't get to watch teams at full strength. Like, I wish it was like Madden. I could like turn injuries off in real life.
Everybody at 100% all the time. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Because like, even with like, the Giants they're a bad team, but like, I want to see Saquon play. I don't want to have the Giants like they're already bad. We don't need to make them worse.
We don't need to handicap them further.
So, but speaking of injuries, let's get straight into the news and injuries for. Between our last episode of this one, Odell Beckham was released from the Browns finally, listed on waivers, and he has officially cleared waivers, and him and his team have said that they are going to sleep on all the offers they have received.
And I'm sure they've received probably 4 to 5 offers, I'm guessing.
I would say at least 10. Now, how many of those are good offers? That's the question.
Now that he's cleared waivers, he's no longer owed that $7.5 million, correct?
7.25, yeah.
7.25. So okay, that opens up a lot more teams. Mm-hmm. There were only like 6 or 7 teams that had the cap space to take on that contract to begin with. So they're probably
cleared waivers.
5 teams. Yeah.
Yeah, like how many of those offers are good?
Well, like if the Lions offered him $10 million, he's probably not taking it because it's the Lions. If the Bills offered him $3 million, he might take it.
Yeah, he said he wants to go to a contender, which makes sense.
Well, makes sense, but I hate how like whenever Julio was being shopped around, that was the big thing. He wants to go to somewhere he has a chance to win a Super Bowl. Same thing with Tom Brady. Same thing, like all of these guys. No duh. I don't want to go somewhere and lose 16 games a year.
Oh, Detroit.
That's not fun.
17 now.
They're still hoping the Lions.
Yeah. So we'll see. I personally think, all right, we're going to do this. We're both going to say a team that we expect him to land with, right? Doesn't matter how big the contract is, how small the contract is, just the team that you think he is going to land with.
Like 100% this is the team he's going to?
Like, yeah, if you had to put money right now on Odell Beckham to insert team here, I have my team. So when you have your team, go ahead and say who it is. I don't want to influence your choice.
Yeah, no. I'm between 2.
I think we're probably between the same 2. But yeah.
Count it down.
3, 2, 1. Raiders. Was it between the Raiders and Ravens?
Yep. Bengals being a close third. Although I don't think the Bengals need any help. I don't think the Bengals need that much help, but it wouldn't hurt either.
I didn't think about them.
Chargers could also use him, but I don't think they'll go for him.
I don't think they would because they have Keenan Allen.
Broncos could use him. He's not going to go to the Broncos.
No. I mean, and they made the Cowboys look terrible, let's be honest.
Steelers could use him. He's not going to go to the Steelers. Like, half of the teams in the league are taken out because they're not a quote-unquote contender.
Yeah. The Lions could use him, but we know he's not going to land there.
Unless he wants to end up like Megatron.
True. But a team that he could land with, the Seahawks, are getting their quarterback back. Russell Wilson has been cleared for full return with his finger injury, which Pete Carroll is saying is miraculous how quickly he's coming back. But
that's like what, 4 weeks?
It was right at the 3rd to 4th week that his IR stint would allow him. They said they were hoping for a Week 10 return, and it looks like they're getting it. Trevor Lawrence has a low ankle sprain. He will be limited in practice. I'm assuming if he's going to be limited, he'll most likely play in Week 10.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if he doesn't. Sam Darnold with the Panthers. They, after multiple tests, they found out today that he has a fracture in his shoulder and he could miss several weeks.
Darn.
Which, yeah, I saw a tweet today. One of my friends from my hometown tweeted. Let me get the exact tweet because I think it's really funny. He said, "Come on, where did it go?" Matt Rule wasn't going to bench Sam, so God did it for him.
I mean, it's not like Mike White. What's up with Mike White? Because I know he's hurt.
They're expecting him to play this week.
Okay.
So.
Man, I'm okay with Mike White.
Well, wrong team. Mike White's with the Jets. Sam Darnold's with the Panthers. The next line in our list here is the Jets are in no rush to bring Zach Wilson back, which I wrote in all caps. Duh.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. I'm sorry.
You're good.
But
You're good.
There we go, though. Yeah, Mike White, go for it.
Yeah, if this was a shock to anyone that the Jets weren't going to bring Zach Wilson back like really quick, they're kind of delusional. Like this is.
Yeah, there's no.
This makes sense because one, Zach Wilson they're hoping is their guy moving forward, so you don't want to rush him back. But also two, he's hasn't been playing the best.
He's not.
So, the Raiders did sign wide receiver Desean Jackson for vet minimum, which I don't think this. I don't think this affects the idea of them bringing in OBJ, because if you think about it, it would be. It would be OBJ number 1, Renfro number 2, and then Jackson number 3 in the slot.
Okay, yeah.
So I don't think it makes OBJ not want to go there. It might even entice him more. That they have a little bit more talent that could also take someone off of OBJ. You know what I mean?
Let's see. Vet minimum for players with over 7 years of experience is just over $1 million.
Oh, that poor guy. I feel really bad for him.
I'm curious though. Is that $1 million from now to the end of the season, or is that?
I think it's
scaled or whatever it's called, prorated.
Yeah, that's the word.
So regardless, he's going to get minimum $500,000 then.
Which I'm sure he had vet minimum in LA.
Yeah.
So it's.
He's not hurting.
Yeah. And then 2 players were put on the COVID list today. Nick Chubb and Greg Zuerlein, a kicker for the Cowboys, both are on the COVID list, and they both could be missing Week 10. They're both, I think, vaccinated, so they have like the different rules.
They have the 7 days or 2 negative tests or something like that.
They're saying that there is a chance that Nick Chubb could play. But with Greg the Leg, they're pretty certain he is not going to play this week.
Yeah.
So we will see what happens with that. I mean, the Browns. We'll talk about it in a second.
Browns, yeah.
We'll talk about it in a second. But speaking of Mike White and the Jets, we'll jump straight into Thursday night. The Jets went to Indy and lost 45-30. But let's be honest, the scoreline does not say how this game was.
We talked about this game briefly over the weekend, either Friday night or Saturday. I completely forgot this game happened at all. Like, I knew there was a game on Thursday, couldn't tell you a thing about it. And I watched the second half of this game.
I watched the first half. So, my takeaway from this game is that it sucks that Mike White got injured.
Yes.
But with how we've seen through 1 1/4 game of football, Mike White is okay.
Good, yeah.
And if they don't have Mike White, they're pretty terrible.
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yeah, that's all there is to it. Colts, on the other hand, they looked solid all the way through. Jonathan Taylor looked amazing.
Dude, Carson Wentz. That's what I want to talk about. 22 for 30, 272, 3 touchdowns? Come on.
No interceptions. That's not like him. So, Maybe he's finally figuring it out in
Well,
Indy.
he's only thrown picks in 2 games this season.
Yeah.
He's a 17-3 touchdown interception ratio. Eagles fans are rejoicing, right, across the
They're
board.
gonna get that first round pick.
They're going to have 3 first-round picks. I would not be shocked if they trade one of them.
Oh, I 100% would, for all the value they can get.
They could technically trade 2 of them away and get someone who's really
4 or
good.
5 picks. Yeah, get a person or 4 or 5 picks.
So we'll see. But I mean, this Colts team, the way they've been playing the past few weeks, 4-5 to me doesn't really say.
The first half of the season, the first weeks 1 through 5 and weeks 6 through 9 are much different team.
Correct, 100%.
So right now they're sitting at a 28% chance to make playoffs at all. But if they continue winning games, obviously that helps their case. But I mean, they have to take out the Titans, who just lost Derrick Henry. So,
But they didn't really skip a beat, honestly. Their defense showed up. So
yeah, it worked out really well for them.
The Colts are in a rough spot, with quotes, rough spot. They are 4-5, but they're sitting 12th in the conference. Because there are 5 teams tied for 7th at 5-4.
God.
Then there are 4 teams, including 2 division leaders, who are 5-3.
Yeah, and they're 3 games back in the division right now.
I don't think they catch Tennessee.
No.
But if Carson Wentz can stay healthy and he can keep doing what he's been doing, I see them like getting as high as the 6th seed in the AFC.
Yeah, sitting at 4-5. If they finish it, realistically, they could finish probably 10-7. Not looking at their schedule, 10-7 might be enough to sneak in there.
Yeah, they're in a rough spot. They play the Cardinals, the Raiders, the Bucks, and the Bills in their last stretch of games.
Yeah. So if they can eke out one of those, they should win the rest of them. If they get in, it's going to be by the hair of their chin.
Yeah, it's going to be close. But I mean, the team could have beaten Tennessee 2 weeks ago. So I mean, they could technically be 5-4 right now, which we'd be having a whole different conversation, right?
Yeah, that puts them a whole lot closer.
So we'll see what happens moving forward. But this team, man, is firing on all cylinders finally.
Yeah, Jets or not.
Yeah, pretty much. But dude, Sunday started out with a bang.
Sunday
Cleveland
was fun
for some people.
For
some people, let's be honest here.
Yeah, I'll give you that one.
Cleveland went into Cincinnati and
beat the brakes off the Bengals. Just across all 3 sides of the ball.
Like,
the first score of the game was a 99-yard pick six.
Oh, this game.
The Bengals answered, and then that was the last chance the Bengals had. I'm
really confused, okay? Because last episode, right, we came in and I was like, I'm panicking if I'm a Browns fan.
Yeah.
And now I don't know.
They're in this weird thing where they're really good for a couple weeks, and then they lose 2 games that they're not supposed to lose. And then they go up against a team who was the Bengals, who were looking like they were about to run the table for the rest of the season. And this happens. They shut them down. It's not that the Bengals played bad. The Browns were just that much better. The pick six in the beginning of the game, that was kind of a mistake on Joe Burrow's part.
It was a really bad throw.
That was a mistake on Joe Burrow's part. But then it helps too whenever you have a 60-yard touchdown, a couple high 20-yard touchdowns, a 70-yard touchdown. That helps boost your confidence and swings momentum in your favor. The 60-yard touchdown, the pass from Baker to Donovan Peoples-Jones, they were on the field. The offense was on the field for all of 8 seconds, and the defense went back out there. How did this team go from oh no to oh yeah that quick?
I'll ask you this, right? I'll be the standard media with this question.
Yeah, yeah.
How much do you think OBJ affected this? Like, they knew he wasn't going to be there.
Yeah.
Do you think this was them being like, thank God he's gone? Or do you think it was more of like we're going to show you guys that we don't need him?
I think it was kind of a sigh of relief because we know and we've seen that OBJ can be a drama queen. And I'm sure he brought a good bit of that mentality that, oh man, I'm not getting any catches or you should throw me the ball more. Whatever he was saying in the locker room, that brings guys down. Like that nobody wants to be around that kind of negative attitude. So the fact that he was no longer in the locker room, I feel like this kind of could have been a sigh of relief. And the Browns just kind of said, all right, let's go have some fun now because we don't have this nagger in the background
Yeah.
sitting there just talking bad about us the whole time. That's the only thing that I can see why because they snuck by the Broncos. They barely beat the Broncos. Then they lost to the Steelers in an abysmal game.
Yeah.
And then they beat the Bengals by 25. The only thing that's changed in the past 3 weeks is OBJ's not there. We'll see what happens next week when they play the Patriots, but
I'm
I'm
interested to
expecting a
see what
similar
also
outcome.
happens because the Browns defense forced 3 turnovers on the Bengals, 2 picks and a fumble. And I'm curious to see if this team can win if their defense doesn't help them as much, right? Like forcing 3 turnovers, including like you said, the 99-yard interception return, like you're gonna set yourself up for success. So
Yeah,
I'm curious. I'm curious if they can win when their defense doesn't play well.
I mean, they scored on every turnover. The pick six, obviously, and then the field goals on the 2 other ones. So that their defense directly gave them 7, and then indirectly gave them an extra 6.
Yep. So
So
13
13
points.
points from your defense. A 13-point swing because of your defense is you should win games doing that.
Should.
Should.
Because that touchdown at the beginning of the game could have been a touchdown for Cincinnati, and
Yeah,
this
they
whole
were on the
game looks
1-yard line.
different.
Yeah, they were on the 1-yard line.
I don't know, man. And on the other side, the Bengals,
I thought the Bengals were rolling. I thought they were in a good spot, doing a lot of good things.
I'm confused because they went and smacked Baltimore. Then they went to New York and lost to the Jets. Then they welcome in Cleveland and they lose again. Like, are they not? Are they not good anymore?
Same question to you. What happened? I don't even have in the Browns case, OBJ's gone. What happened in the Bengals case? What caused them to flip the switch off? I don't know if there's an answer.
I'm trying to take a look the box score for both games. Like we can say that, the turnovers that Cleveland forced could be, a huge factor into why they lost that game. But I'm looking at the game against the Jets and they forced 3 turnovers. Like they should have won the game. And I can't see what happened between.
They didn't lose anybody to injuries. They didn't trade or add anybody before this game.
Joe Burrow threw 3 touchdowns, 1 interception against the Jets. Like I have no idea, but they have to bounce back. They play the Raiders.
Yeah.
They're fortunate. They get a bye week. I'll say that.
Yes.
When they come back and they play the Raiders, they have to show up.
Yeah.
Because the Bengals, keep in mind, are now 4th place in the division at 5-4.
What? That division, man. The AFC
So
is something else.
The Browns, I don't fully want to be like back on the the Browns train.
It's their year, baby.
Like with both these teams, I'm kind of just sitting here. Like I'm not panicking and I'm not excited. I just don't know.
Money on either of these guys right now.
I just don't know. You know what I mean?
Both of them are a game. I guess technically a game and a half off the lead in the division. Both sitting at 5-4. Bengals at 6-2. Or Baltimore. At 6-2.
I don't know, man.
I mean,
looks like it's
they
Baltimore's
still
division
have
now.
A chance. It's Baltimore's division to lose.
Yep.
But if they slip up, I mean, both of these teams still have a game against the Bengals, if I'm not, or against the. Why do I keep doing that? Against the Ravens, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the Browns still have 2 games against the Ravens. Bengals still have 1 game against them.
The Steelers have both games. Like the
So,
Ravens
yeah.
could wipe the division, right? And or they could
Or get wiped.
Yeah. It could go one or two ways.
Yeah, and that weird thing, I know we talked about it probably at the beginning of the season. The Browns play the Ravens, go on bye, and then play the Ravens.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's odd. So I mean, they could literally catapult from wherever they are at the time. Say they're still in third, they could catapult from third to first after those 2 games.
Very true. And it could technically, if Pittsburgh kind of somehow keeps it going, it could be a 3-way tie. It could be a 4-way tie.
It could be. It's looking like it might be a 4-way tie where one of these teams makes playoffs.
Last thing I'll say in this game is I hope both of these teams and the other 2 in their division end up at the same record at the end of the season, and we see some. If the Steelers win by 17 and the Ravens only win by 14, then the Steelers will.
The 15-way tiebreakers.
That's what I'm wanting. So
that's what it'll come down to. There'll be somebody who holds first place off of whatever tiebreakers there are. But if they don't win the game by at least 7 more, then the Browns win their game.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. Both of these teams are sitting in a very odd spot right now.
Yeah, if I'm a fan of one of these teams, I don't know what to feel.
I'm not backing either of them right now.
But a game that
I'm still backing. Yeah.
Are we still backing them?
I'm still backing the Cowboys. Broncos went to Dallas, and we got to talk about it. I'm sorry, but they went to Dallas, and up until garbage time, shut them out. It was 30-0 at 4 minutes left in this game. 4:08. And we both watched this game, and it was just abysmal. Cowboys could get nothing going, and it's not that the Broncos played that well, it's just Cowboys couldn't get anything going at all. Everything they tried didn't work.
I will say there's a reason why the Broncos have a top 10 defense this season.
We saw that this game.
Yeah. Unfortunately for the Cowboys is the Broncos offense decided it wanted to show up for a week.
Yeah. For the first time since week 3.
So I think, looking back at this game, I think what the Cowboys should have done, which I partially didn't like, I was like kind of like hit or miss, but like looking back at it, they should not have gone for both 4th downs in the first 2 drives. Like no. I understand trying to set the tone. Like the first one, I get it, right? 4th and 1. Want to start out, get the first points on the board. I get it. You don't get it, sucks. Force a punt, get the ball back. Now we're on the 20. Just kick the field goal, take the points.
Yeah, but again, I mean, it's the same thing. At the time of that decision, it was still 0-0. So what is there to lose?
And there's still
other than those 3 points.
53 minutes of game.
Yeah, the whole game is still ahead of you.
Like,
so I mean, probably hindsight, not the best call considering how this game went. At the time of the call, it was probably still the right move because it was low risk, high reward. They get the first down, they get 4 fresh plays to go get a touchdown. They don't get it. Broncos have 80 yards to go.
Yeah. The only right side from the Cowboys side of the ball, because I don't want to, there's really nothing else to talk about. I mean, they looked horrible. Is Micah Parsons. 10 total tackles, 2.5 sacks, 3 tackles for a loss, 3 QB hits. Like, he was our only bright star.
Yeah, and he's your rookie.
Which doesn't shock me with how he's been playing this season.
No, he's been on fire this season.
But it sucks when...
other than that, there was nothing... Like you said, there's nothing bright about the Cowboys on Sunday.
And I'm going to give credit where it's due. Teddy Bridgewater and the Broncos, I mean, they absolutely just ran over us. Like literally, they have 190 rushing yards on 41 rushes.
Yeah, they had a game plan. They stuck to it, and it worked.
Like, whatever the Broncos did from week 8 to week 9, in the locker room, the film room, whatever, do that again. because it works.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Broncos looked good in this game, like all around, both sides of the ball, or I mean, all three sides of the ball. They looked good. Now, can they build off of it?
That's what we need to see.
That's the question. I mean, they play the Eagles, so
Well,
like
they should.
they should win if they play like this. But if they don't play like this and they play like weeks 4 through
7.
8,
Yeah.
then they're gonna get demolished.
The Eagles will do their thing and should win, but we've seen this whole season has just been odd. This week was I was talking to a guy at work about this on Monday. Because me and him, he gambles a lot, and we always talk about it. First thing he said to me was not "Good morning," not "Happy Monday," it was not "Do you want some coffee?" It was "I hope you didn't put any bets down this week because I lost so much money."
Oh my gosh.
I mean, rightfully so. How many games went the way you expected them to go this week, just as a whole?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
5 out of 13 games,
14.
14 games.
I did great.
So it was and that's just straight winners. It's not looking at spread or anything else.
Yep.
So yeah, this week was a lot of underdogs, and it was fun to see. It's fun to see that, but I
Just against
don't
your
like
team.
seeing that in the instance of this game where one team just doesn't show up.
Yeah. The plus side for Denver, right, is they are in last in the division at 5-4. They are tied with Kansas City for 7th in the AFC. They literally have a chance of making the playoffs despite how abysmal they've looked.
Those
They just have to do what
those
they did this
Denvers.
game more.
a couple more times, actually a lot more than a couple.
Like, take this film and push it over here.
I mean, the way that their division is looking right now, they could honestly finish up. I mean, this whole division is 5-3, 5-4.
Yep.
They could be the team that makes it with 9 wins. The way this division's going.
I mean, if they beat the rest of their division in the last 5 division games they have, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I don't think it will. But say they do. That puts them at minimum 10 and 7.
10 wins, yeah. Yeah, if they sweep what they have left of the division, they will.
And they
be
play
at
the
10
Lions. So we'll say 11. I don't
So,
think
yeah,
they will
if
do
they-
that, but they definitely they have a chance at winning this division still. Do I think they
Wow.
will? No. But they definitely have an opportunity. They just have to do what they did in this game and replicate it.
Yeah.
Because I would say this is the best they've looked. Yeah, they started out
This-
3-0, but this is the best they have looked.
And without Von Miller on defense.
So, do you think this is similar to the OBJ situation?
I was gonna ask you the same thing. I don't think so though. I don't think Von Miller is that kind of guy. Von Miller has been a team captain for years.
I agree. But I think sometimes when the veteran like Von Miller leaves, it forces the other guys to step up to try and prove themselves, and they do this.
I mean, those are big shoes to fill,
Yeah.
literally and figuratively.
Yeah. So rough loss for
Yeah.
Dallas, but I mean it happens. Like good teams.
I mean, this could be the humbling game that y'all needed.
I sure hope so. And Denver just needs to build off of this. So
Good job. Good job.
don't really feel like talking about the next game too much. Houston went to Miami and lost 17-9. Tua didn't
Tyrod
play.
Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor looked horrible.
Yeah.
Miami won 17-9, like I said.
Both teams are just struggling.
Yeah, pretty much. In the next game, Eddie's Atlanta Falcons went
Oh my god.
into Nolans, and they won 27-25 on a last-second field goal by Young Ho Koo.
I want you to look at something real quick. How many rushing yards did the Falcons have this game?
So we did a little math here. 34.
We have 0 run game at all. at all. Well, we do have a run game. The Saints are really good against the run, and our main running back,
He's also a wide receiver.
Cordell Patterson, chose the wide receiver role this game.
Oh yeah, okay.
And excelled.
When he queued into the game, he forgot to hit flex.
Exactly.
He just hit wide receiver, and everyone was like, "Dude, why you gotta do that to us?"
Yeah, him and Matt Ryan and AJ Terrell are the brightest spots. There's a couple good things that are looking for the Falcons right now. But it's like those three guys, and then everybody else is a good step under them right now. Our defense is pretty trash overall. Our run game is non-existent.
I mean, on the opposite side of the ball, Trevor Siemian didn't look bad.
Trevor Siemian actually looked really good.
Which, I don't know if you knew this, but the Saints actually inquired about Teddy Bridgewater before this week. Obviously, before the trade deadline. Sorry.
Yeah. Denver shouldn't give him up.
But, I mean, if they give him up, they have Drew Lock. And that is definitely a lock for any team against them.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's not an upgrade.
So, despite the Saints losing, I think this is definitely a good set of like building blocks that they can move with and go into week 10.
Most definitely, and Kamara is still Kamara.
They have Zoom and Boom, so like
they were running through us and catching through us, I guess, the whole game. They didn't stop. They didn't let up at all.
It's just an unfortunate game, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
we won this game because they went for 2-point conversions and missed them both.
This is, in essence, an NFC South game. Like, this is just how it goes.
100%, yes.
This is just how it goes. I know literally it's an NFC South game, guys. Yeah, I understand that.
You could put Panthers or the Bucks on either side of the ball against the other team, and we could see a similar outcome, just because the NFC South always finds a way to just have terribly enjoyable games, if that makes sense.
Like, this is the NFC South, like, in its truest form, that the Saints lose their starting quarterback and beat Tom Brady and the Bucks. Then the next week, sorry, Eddie, lose to the 3-4 Falcons.
Yeah. Like my favorite thing about this division, it was, I don't know how long ago this was now, probably like 5 or 6 years. The Falcons finished the season at 6-10. 6-10. Yeah. We were 5-1 in the division.
The NFC South, man. I just
that is the best way I can sum up the NFC South, and it's literally been that way since day one, since the division was made. We went 11 years, I think, before we had a repeat winner, that winner was the 7-8-1 Panthers. So, if you're not a football fan, or you are a football fan but you need a team to follow, pick one of the NFC South, and you will have a terribly great time sometimes.
Your team will at minimum win 3 games a season. Every season. Because they will win division games that they shouldn't.
Somehow.
I don't know, man. The Falcons, like, they keep starting to figure it out, right? And then they stumble.
Yeah.
Like, you guys put 2, I'm not going to say really big wins, but you beat the Jets and the Dolphins.
Ooh.
And then you went and played the Panthers and looked horrible.
Yep.
And then you beat the Saints. I don't know, dude. The Falcons are like way too up and down to for me to say that they're a playoff team.
No,
you're technically in the playoffs right now.
Yes, at 7. And we'll take that. Trust me, we will take that. I think we'll end up going right now. It'll be the Packers is who we'll go up against right now.
Yes.
At the Packers, which that's
it's just the Packers. They just win all their games.
They didn't this week. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this team. We go up, as me and you know, we go play the Cowboys in Dallas this weekend. So we'll see what they want to do then.
I hope it's
So
nothing.
which
Sorry.
I hope y'all play like you did against.
Hey. Well, if things go that way, we might win the game 16-15 at the end.
You're not wrong.
Oh man. I don't know.
I
I
just
think
hope the officiating's good. That's all I hope for.
True. I hope for no taunting calls. I don't want to get into that discussion. I think New Orleans still makes the playoffs.
Yes.
I think you guys have a shot.
I will say this:
How big of a shot?
There's no way the NFC South sends more than 2. No opportunity. Panthers are below us, and we're at the 7th seed.
I would say they're.
You think that there's a chance, realistically?
There is a chance that New Orleans and you both make the play. I'm not counting the Panthers. I think they're done.
Okay, yeah.
I think they've been done. I don't know how they shouldn't have beat you guys. Let's be honest. But like the Vikings, I talked about it last week. Mike Zimmer is absolutely ruining this team right now. I don't know why, but his coaching for this season has been atrocious. I don't know if it's been that way for years and I haven't noticed it, but this season it's atrocious. So I'm not really high on the Vikings. Seattle, they finally get Russell Wilson back, so they have a shot, but they're at 3-5, and that's, I mean, they're only a game back, but it's a big
hill to climb,
right? San Francisco, meh, and then everyone else, meh.
Yeah.
So like, there is a chance. I think the only team that fights you guys really is Seattle.
Yeah. That's I guess when you put it that way.
Now the question is, if you make the playoffs, how far do you go? Really nowhere, but.
No.
But we'll move on from that game.
Yeah, technically, there's a chance.
Yeah.
It's just a slim chance. So
yeah,
I hope we do.
At least you guys aren't like the Colts at 4-5 and being 12th in the conference, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. You know what I mean?
I mean, we've said it time and time again. The AFC is way more competitive this year.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad about it, but I'm also not. I don't know.
That's where we're at.
But to a team that should make the playoffs, it's the Las Vegas Raiders. They went into New York, played the Giants, and lost.
A game that should not have gone this way, but it did.
This is definitely a game that Derek Carr beat Derek Carr.
Yes.
Yes.
How are you gonna? First of all, this has layers. This statement. How do you lose to Daniel Jones? Just put that out there.
No idea.
How do you lose to Daniel Jones that throws for 110 yards?
How do you lose to Daniel Jones that throws for 110 yards and doesn't have Saquon Barkley?
Everything is stacked against the Giants in this game. And Derek Carr beat Derek Carr. All he had to do was not throw that second interception.
He had to just not throw any picks. Just don't throw it to the other team.
Throw to the guys in black.
Come on. It's not that hard, Derek Carr. You've been doing it for weeks. I'm not even going to say anything about the Giants because
the Giants.
They're 3-6, and I don't care. I'm going to be blunt. I just don't care.
Yeah. I mean, Derek Carr, this is the second half drives for the Raiders. Started out the third quarter, 3 plays, pick 6.
Sick.
They get the ball back, 8-minute field goal.
That's a long time.
That's a very long time to get just a field goal. Next possession, they missed the field goal.
Sick.
Next possession, interception. Next possession, they fumbled.
They're doing great. Yeah, when you score 3 points on 5 drives,
I'm not even gonna say that. They netted -4 points on 5 drives.
You know what? I'm gonna say -5. They missed the field goal. They get -1 for that. You know what I mean? Not actually, but they get -1.
Theoretically, yeah.
Right? Like,
but yeah, like you can't have 5 drives and end up with 3 points that actually go on the scoreboard. You can't do that. I mean, even their first half isn't much better. They started the game with a touchdown, punted, they got a field goal, they punted, they got a field goal. I take that back. That's way better. I'm not saying I expect you to score on every drive, but 50% of your drives at least get a field goal.
Derek Carr has to play
And
better.
Derek Carr needs to stop shooting himself in the foot. And
Like
it's so
we can't blame this on coaching because it's been I think 3 weeks now with the new coaching staff. Like we can't say, oh, it's because of the coaching. Like we can't use that excuse anymore. You're 3 weeks in. These are professionals.
can't blame it on the officiating because Derek Carr just. And I hate to keep harping on Derek Carr, but this is on Derek Carr.
Yeah, I mean when you throw 2 picks, including one of them for pick 6, like
Yeah, it's not good for you. And the fumble was Derek Carr at the end of the
oh,
game.
sick.
Yeah,
He
he
did a
got
great
sacked and
job.
coughed it up.
Good for him. 3 turnovers. It's really atrocious.
You're not going to win a game, even if you are against the Saquon-less Giants. The Saquon-less Daniel Jones-led Giants. You're not going to win a game with 3 turnovers.
Dude, they put up 117 rushing yards, almost 300 passing. Like, it's just the turnovers.
Raiders are full panic right now if I'm them.
Mm,
Maybe not full panic, but Derek Carr needs to get his head straight, and it's hard to bounce back from a game like this.
they play the Chiefs. And I personally think that they should be the Chiefs.
It's a winnable game.
If they beat the Chiefs, I think you see like a whole new Raiders team. I almost said Oakland. Whole new Raiders team, like moving forward. Like just imagine beating Patrick Mahomes. Oh,
I mean, even how Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are playing this year, that's still a big boost. It's a division game. They went to the Super Bowl last year and the year before. Like that's a huge confidence boost.
yeah.
And hopefully it does like ignite the flame for them. Essentially,
They,
Derek Carr just needs to be smarter.
They need to win that game.
Yeah, they just need to be smarter.
They need to beat Kansas City. Moving
Last
forward.
thing, Giants. Congrats, you won a game. You're still gonna finish.
It's really bad for them. They need to stop winning because they're just getting farther and farther away from a good draft pick. Let's be honest.
Washington figured it out weeks ago after the Falcons win.
And they were like, we might just keep losing. But to a team that does keep losing, New England went into Carolina and won 24-6. I personally,
Sam Darnold 3 picks.
Yeah,
First game back with Christian McCaffrey, and they did not use him. I understand they probably wanted to just I understand they probably wanted to just slowly get him back, but it's Christian McCaffrey. There's not a running back in the league that is like Christian McCaffrey. Use him.
Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on this game. Like the Panthers, Sam Darnold looked good for a few weeks, and then Sam Darnold became Sam Darnold.
Yeah, less than 50% completion and 3 interceptions this game.
Obviously, doesn't help that McCaffrey hasn't been here pretty much at all this season. But
now you haven't.
Yeah,
you haven't.
On the other side,
Jones didn't look great.
Yeah, but he didn't
look terrible, but he didn't look great. 139 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 66% passing.
The one thing that I noticed a lot with Mac Jones, I'll say this, and I don't know, I'm sure this is coaching, but they don't like make him do a whole lot when the game plays out this way.
Yeah,
which I really like. Like he threw the ball 18 times.
Yeah, don't force it if you don't have to.
There are teams who will be up like they were, and I'm not saying that they were up by a whole bunch, but like they'll start, the quarterback will end with like 40 passes, and you're like,
why?
What was the point?
Yeah, no. This is a game where they got the lead and they just maintained it. They didn't do anything, like you're saying. They didn't have to do anything, so they didn't do anything.
This is really teaching Mac Jones game management skills.
Yeah, their only second half touchdown was a pick 6. So they aren't trying to force anything, which, like you said, has a lot to do with coaching. They have one of the greatest coaches ever, Bill Belichick. And if I'm Mac Jones, I am doing what Bill Belichick would do if he was on the field.
Yep. Yeah, and
it worked.
They just sometimes just don't do much, and it works. I mean, that's Bill Belichick and his.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I think the Patriots are better than their roster says. I think it's a lot to their coaching.
Yeah.
So I think they have a good shot at making playoffs, despite that they're tied with five other teams at the same record.
Yeah. One of those teams being Buffalo. Well, I guess they're technically half a game back of Buffalo.
I mean, dude, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, the Panthers are in full like tanking mode, I would say. They just need to not win because they need a quarterback. Bad.
Mac Jones is their man. They took him over. Yeah, I don't know. They're just cruising at this point. Carolina just is also cruising, but much worse.
They're cruising down.
They're cruising on the way to the shop and hoping they make it there.
Yeah. This next game,
the Josh Allen game.
That's the only thing I want to say about this game. Okay, like I don't want to say much more than Josh Allen, the quarterback, played like absolute crap this game. He threw 47 times and didn't even hit 300 yards or throw a touchdown. But for anyone curious,
there were no touchdowns in this game at all. There were no touchdowns in this game.
For anyone curious, the score, the Jags, Buffalo came in, sorry.
Yeah.
And Jacksonville won 9-6. There were 5 total field goals in this game. I don't care about that. The only thing that I care about in this game is that Josh Allen, the linebacker for Jacksonville, sacked, intercepted, and recovered a fumble, all on Josh Allen, the quarterback.
Josh Allen did great in this game, and it's not the Josh Allen you're thinking. Man, that's the clickbait title right there.
We're writing an article.
Yeah, this game there was a whole lot of nothing in this game other than that. Like, that's literally the headline. Josh Allen, the linebacker, destroyed Josh Allen, the quarterback.
There were 3 points scored in the second half.
Yeah, and it was a field goal. I just want to look at the drives here. Field goal, punt, field goal, punt, fumble, punt, end of half.
It was a kneel on that end of half.
Okay.
So technically nothing.
Interception, missed field goal by the Jaguars. Another interception by the Bills. Field goal, punt, fumble, punt, turnover on downs, punt. This is not the game. I'm glad I didn't watch this game.
Yeah. Buffalo they're going to make the playoffs, but this game...
I'm not worried about Buffalo. This was just a rest week for them, I guess.
They took too much of a rest.
Yeah. I mean, maybe this was the same thing. This was kind of their humbling game. Because they can go into the Jets next week and pile on 86-0 like they've done a couple times this season.
I don't know, man. What a weird game. Next game, Minnesota went into Baltimore, took it all the way to OT.
What a game this one was. This was a fun game.
Well, Baltimore took it to OT, I should say, because Minnesota was up 17-3 with just a little bit to go before halftime. But Baltimore won in OT 34-31. And
I just want to point this out. The streak is still alive for the Vikings. You were talking about Zimmer's Zimmer? Yeah, Mike Zimmer. And his coaching ability, whether it should be in question or not. Every game this season has been decided by one possession.
All of them.
I don't know if that's the kind of streak you want.
The Seahawks game that they won by 13.
Oh, sorry.
But I mean, 7 out of 8 games are
7 out of 8 games have been, and of that, like 5 of them have been by field goal. 4 of them by field goal. This isn't the kind of. I feel like if you have this many games that are decided by just as a whole, if you have 7 out of 8 games decided by a possession or less, at least half of those should go in your favor.
And they haven't.
And they haven't.
So the Vikings 2-5 in those games.
Vikings don't know how to close out these games. And give credit where credit's due. The Ravens came back and won this game.
Here's my issue with the Ravens. They're winning games. They're 6-2, right? Awesome. I'm going to give that credit. My issue is they have a knack for not showing up for like the first quarter to half and then winning the game, which is, again, you won. Doesn't matter. But if you are playing Tennessee, Tampa Bay, Green Bay, Arizona, the Rams, like,
It's not going to fly.
you can't let those teams get up by 14 plus. Like, imagine telling Tom Brady, I'm going to give you a 14-point lead, and then we're going to play one half of football.
Yeah. That you're right. That's essentially what's been happening. And they've lucked out that they haven't had to play anybody like that. They did it against the Colts. They did it against the Lions. They did it against the struggling Chiefs in the beginning of the season. They almost did it against the Raiders first week of the year of the year.
That is my only issue with this Ravens team. They had 247 rushing yards. Like,
And Lamar Jackson was still their leading rusher.
with 21 carries. Okay, yeah, that's a big issue. Right,
That aside.
that's a big issue. But we've talked about that for weeks. And that's just more us worried about his health.
Yes.
It works out. He ran for 120 yards. We're not doubting that he's
No, we know he's
talented.
amazing rolling out of the pocket and making plays happen. Design run plays. But
I just don't want to see this Baltimore team make the playoffs and then lose because they gave up too big of a lead in the first half and couldn't come back. Because they are much better than that.
Similar but different. This is kind of feels like how the Steelers were last year, where they excel for a majority of the season or the games, and then they just crumble when it matters.
Yeah. Except with this team, there's actual talent.
Almost. Yeah. That's fair.
So
if the Ravens keep trending in this direction, they are gonna win the division and immediately lose wild card week.
Unless they get a very good matchup, right?
Unless they get a
Denver,
a favorable matchup.
Again, they're 6-2. They're a great team.
They're not a good team. Yeah,
but we gotta call them out. But they need to be called out. You know what I mean?
And on the other side, the Vikings feel like they are the team that you bring in to tune up your team. They're a good team. They're going to compete. But realistically, they're not.
The Vikings could be 1-7.
They could be 7-1.
No, they could technically be 8-0. Because all of their losses are one possession. So
and there's one game, in the Seahawks game, they more than likely weren't going to lose that one.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. The Vikings, like I said earlier, I'm not too high on them. Kirk Cousins is playing really well. Again, I'm going to say it until he's not.
Yeah. Dalvin Cook's back in full force.
But you can't throw leads. And you got to close games.
They kept... It's just weird because they lost to the Cardinals by 1.
Yep.
They lost to the Bengals by 3.
Yep.
But then they beat the Lions by 2. And they beat the Panthers by 6. And then they turned around. They lost to the Cowboys by 4. They lost to the Ravens in overtime by 3. Now, looking at their next 4 games, they have Chargers, Packers, 49ers, Lions. Are you telling me they're about to have a 0 net point differential over those 4 games?
I guarantee you it will.
I'm going to say less than 10.
They're going to be -10 to +10.
Yeah.
And that's their gap. Because they are currently +3. They're 8 weeks of football. And they're 3-5. And their point differential is equal to the amount of wins they have. I'm done. I'm done talking about it.
Yep.
I'm just done.
Yep. We're good. It's a fun game to watch.
Chargers went into Philadelphia and won 27-24.
Another good game. Justin Herbert looked phenomenal. Jalen Hurts looked phenomenal, but toned down a whole lot.
I'm just confused.
On the Eagles?
Both.
Okay.
Because I thought the Chargers were like really good, right? And then they've kind of looked meh.
Fizzled out. Yeah, they fizzled out.
And the Eagles, I thought were bad. And yeah, they lost this game, but I didn't think this game would be close. So like, I don't. What? Can you help explain it to me?
All I got is they got about 8 more games this season. We'll see what happens. I don't know if they're a good team or not. At this point, I don't. I think the Chargers are a good team, but I don't know.
Justin Herbert went 32 for 38, 356, 2 touchdowns.
It sounds like they blew whoever they were playing out of the water.
And they won by 3?
Austin Eckler didn't have anything going on this game.
I don't know, man.
There were no turnovers in this game at all.
I'm just not high on the Chargers anymore. Yeah, they're 5-3, but like,
it's not a confident 5-3.
There was a point this season where I was like, they could be a sleeper. They could be a sleeper playoff, like a Super Bowl team.
They were 4-1 and then got demolished by the Ravens. Barely lost to the Patriots, and then this game. They're still leading the division right now. They're tied for lead, but they have the tiebreaker over Vegas right now.
6 of their games have been 1 possession.
I don't think. Oh, really? Wow, we got 2 of them. I don't think they maintain. I don't think they win the division at this rate. But on the other side of that, I don't know who wins this division.
They could win the division because the rest of the division just sort of starts winning games at the same time.
I mean, it's the same thing we were just saying about Denver. The AFC West is not the AFC West we thought it was going to be. And then our second opinion of the AFC West is also not what we thought it would be. Nobody wants to win this division at this point.
They all want to win, and no one wants to win at the same time. They're all like, it's mine, but you can have it. But it's mine.
We're going to have the AFC North and the AFC West both having 16-way tiebreakers on our 16-way win conditions on week 18.
I can't wait for it.
Man.
I don't know, man. I'm just not high on the Chargers anymore. Like I think they make the playoffs, but I'm just not. I just don't think they can make the Super Bowl now.
Yeah.
I really don't.
And I'm not high on the Eagles.
The plus side for the Eagles is they're finally understanding how to run the ball. It just took Miles Sanders not being healthy.
Yeah. Essentially, yeah.
Which sucks for Miles Sanders, but good for Eagles. Like, they're slowly starting to figure it out, but it only took them 9 weeks. And Devonta Smith, he's good.
That's their favorite receiver. That is Justin Hurts' favorite. Justin Hurts? Jalen Hurts, thank you. That is by far his favorite receiver, and rightfully so.
I just looked up his stats because I thought he was doing better than this. He only has 500 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns.
Well, look how many passing yards Jalen Hurts had this week. He's not going to rack up a whole bunch of them. Granted, he had 75% of the passing yards this game.
But like, he had 3 targets in their 44-6 win over Detroit.
Yeah. Well, let's look at Jalen Hurts week by week. He's had 2 games over. I'm gonna look at all of them. 35 pass attempts, 23, 40, 48. So he passes the ball a good bit. And then this game, the last 2 games.
Don't look at the Detroit line.
Yeah,
just
good.
don't.
Yeah, the Detroit line is just yeah.
He threw the ball 14 times.
And they scored 44 points. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Eagles are very close to figuring something out. I just don't know what that is.
They're like very close, but also very far. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
The next game, Green Bay went to Kansas City without Aaron Rodgers.
Preseason.
And they only like this. This is the only thing I want to talk about with this game, right? This is the only thing that I want to talk about with this game.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes played Jordan Love. And if I told you that at any point since Jordan Love got drafted, you would have said, "Man, what a blowout!"
54-3.
They won 13-7. And it's not like he threw like Jalen Hurts 14 times. He
No.
threw 37 times.
And got 166 yards. Oh no! Did you not see that there was a literal hurricane in the stadium? That's the only way I can explain it. That wasn't the case. It just as a whole, nothing happened.
Dude, I don't know what how to feel about Kansas City. They're 5-4, and sometimes I feel like they should be like 3-6.
I feel like they could be 0-9. There's not been at any point in this season. I was like, that's the Kansas City I remember.
Week 1 when they beat Cleveland. Obviously, I think Cleveland should have won, but I was like, that's what we thought Week 1 was going to be. Patrick Mahomes versus Baker Mayfield. It's going to be a shootout. Awesome.
And then it was for the most part.
And then Mahomes looked pretty good against Baltimore in Week 2, but had a couple weird interceptions that he shouldn't have done. And then since then, I'm like,
it's just I don't know.
Who are you? Who?
I feel like we've said this a lot about a lot of teams in general. How we don't know what's going on with them, or we don't know how they're going to fare the rest of the season. It's because this whole season, and the Chiefs are a prime example of this. The Chiefs, I don't remember, but I think we both picked them to be the AFC side of the Super Bowl.
I predicted a rematch.
Yeah, okay,
which I don't even think either of those teams will be there now.
That's what I'm saying. At this rate, the Chiefs may not even make playoffs.
Technically, if the season ended today, they wouldn't be in playoffs because they lose the 5-team tiebreaker.
Yeah, so this game just as a whole, preseason, this was one of the most exciting games on the schedule.
Yep.
Of the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
And then going into this week, it was like, all right, Aaron Rodgers is out. The Chiefs are struggling. I'll check the box score at the end. Like, I had no desire to watch this game. And I'm glad I didn't after seeing what happened.
Same. I don't know, man. The Chiefs are... Like, Green Bay putting up 7 without Aaron Rodgers, that was expected. I do want to let you know, I saw a stat line, that the Packers have scored 13 points per game since they got Aaron Rodgers in games that he doesn't play. But the 0-16 Lions averaged 16 points per game, which means that the Packers, without Aaron Rodgers, are worse than the 0-16 Lions.
They're statistically, without Aaron Rodgers, the worst team in NFL history. Yep. I saw that too, and I had to take a
Wait
second.
for next year. We joked about them going 0-17.
It might be real. I do want to point out one more thing on this game.
Mm-hmm.
So keep in mind, score was 7-13.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad. The Packers had a missed field goal and a blocked field goal.
Oh no! It would have been 13-13. Oh no!
And next, off the missed field goal, the Chiefs turned it over on downs and 4 plays. On the blocked field goal, the Chiefs punted it in 6 plays. So it's not like they ran down the field and scored off of those.
My favorite thing about this game is the first 5 drives of second half. Punt, 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 punt.
Interception, punt. My favorite thing about this game is that the Chiefs gave Jordan Love's parents or mom tickets from the helicopter.
Way up there.
Like, you talk about nosebleeds. I think people were paying people to take these seats.
So messed up, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Piss poor game.
Mahomes and the Chiefs look like trash. Like, just gonna be blunt. They just don't look good.
Yeah.
Arizona went into San Francisco without Kyler Murray, without DeAndre Hopkins, without AJ Green. And they won.
Put up 31 points. And won. Colt McCoy came in and had he did more than did his job. I thought he had a really good game. There was only 4 passes that didn't land in his receiver's hands, and the other 4 hit the ground. You're telling me that's the backup?
Hey, Panthers, you should trade for Colt McCoy.
Screw Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh, sorry that the trade deadline's passed. The Cardinals are like, we're going to chill on Colt McCoy. Dude.
Right now, we've seen Colt McCoy in the past and what he can and can't do. So I knew what we expected from Colt McCoy. This was not what we expected from Colt McCoy.
I actually went into our pick'em, and when they announced that Kyler Murray wasn't playing, I went in and picked San Francisco because I thought it would be like 13-7.
Well, yeah, I thought for sure there'd be way less production on the offensive side. The defense was still going to kick ass, and they did. But I didn't think that the offense was going to do that good. I didn't think the offense was going to put up 20 points.
This is just like a huge confidence booster for the already 8-1 Cardinals.
I mean, this feels like, obviously situations are drastically different, but this feels like the Cowboys whenever Tony Romo went down in preseason and Dak had to come in as a rookie and then was phenomenal.
I miss Dad.
That's what this feels like almost.
I miss Dad.
Miss Dad. That's almost what this feels like to me.
Yes and no. It's also because they're just Colt McCoy is like,
Dak.
We're really good, and I'm just going to play really good until that guy comes back.
Yeah. And still had James Conner. James Conner still did his thing.
I mean, usually
96
Chase
yards
Edmonds
per
is
carry.
their number one. I don't know. Did he get injured in this game? I meant to look at that.
Yeah, he had to if he had one carry.
He has a high ankle sprain.
Yeah.
So he exited the game. And like it's weird on the other side, like Elijah Mitchell has been like slowly like getting more carries and playing really well, and then
This happens.
yeah, and then like George Kittle comes back and he does George Kittle things, 6 receptions, 101, touchdown.
That's what you expect out of George Kittle. Keep
Yeah.
in mind, the Cardinals have a brick wall of a defense.
Yeah. I think this is like a huge testament to how well-rounded this Cardinals team is.
Yeah, Cardinals are my new favorite for the NFC.
Yeah, I would agree. But I mean, the 49ers, they've been hit or miss all season, so I'm not really too kind of
the dream of the NFC, the dream of the whole NFC West making playoffs is well gone dead.
Yeah, unfortunately. But the Cardinals look good even without Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins and AJ Green, which is terrifying to think.
They're literally missing 3 of their 4 biggest offensive weapons, and they still did this.
Technically 4 of their 5 because Chase Edmonds was out.
4 of their 5. Thank you. And
so,
they still.
Yeah.
Cardinals good. 49ers bad.
Now the best, by far, the best game of the week. Tennessee, Sunday night, went into LA and upset the Rams. Right?
Yes, the way that this game on paper looked before the start. Yes.
No Derrick Henry. AP's coming in. The Rams are rolling. And they weren't rolling.
The defense.
The Titans' defense
won them this game. By far. Jeffrey Simmons was a monster in this game.
I mean, he only had 3 sacks and 4 QB hits and 3 tackles for loss. Not that big of a deal. Just kind of like a big deal.
It's just kind of super disruptive.
I think this... I'm going to go back and look at the Rams loss to the Cardinals real quick.
Shout out Jeffrey Simmons, Hell State.
This is by far the worst the Rams have looked this season.
Yeah.
And I will be honest with you, did not expect it to happen against the Titans.
No, maybe the Cardinals game is on par, but this is not a game that they should have lost. You're telling me Derrick Henry is gone. The biggest offensive weapon of any team in the nation.
By the way, still leading in rushing.
My point. With the defense that the Rams have, I would have been scared for the Rams because of Derrick Henry.
Yep.
You take him out of the equation, they bring in Adrian Peterson, who was Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Who was Derrick Henry 8 years ago. I'm gonna definitely put my money on the Rams in this case. The Rams should have wiped the floor with the Titans. the Titans defense just stepped it up. And I say stepped it up. They've been good all season, but I don't think they've done anything like this season.
No, I think this is the best the Titans have looked on defense. On offense, they didn't look that good. Let's be honest.
They didn't look bad, but they didn't look that good. I mean, Tannehill, I expected them to change their game plan and go more pass heavy. And they did somewhat. They
By
still
one
split
play.
their. Yeah, they still were 50-50. There was not a lot. 147 yards, touchdown, interception for Tannehill. They still didn't really do anything in the air. They had A.J. Brown. They had Julio Jones.
It's just when you come up against like good teams like this, they've said it in multiple different sports. They say it for years. Defense wins championships. Obviously, this wasn't a championship game. It could be though.
This very well still could be. I'm interested to see though if the Titans can continue to do this because it's gonna be a defensive push now for the Titans. Should they continue to be that favorite in the AFC?
For me,
if this game is any indication,
they are a top 2 seed.
Yes, even without Derrick Henry after seeing this game, yes. Next week will be another question for them, another test for them with the Saints. Test not because the Saints are that good, test because can they continue to do well without Derrick Henry? And
they honestly,
no, I'm not even going to say that.
After the Saints, they have a pretty favorable schedule the rest of the way.
They really don't. They have the Saints, maybe the Patriots, maybe the Steelers are the hardest. Those are the 3 hardest games.
They play the Texans twice. They play the Jags, the Dolphins, the 49ers. Yeah, like this team, I see this team finishing at worst 13-4.
Yes. They won't have another tough game until week 1 of the play.
I don't think they win out. I think they're going to drop a game somewhere. And that's just going to be because
they don't have to win that game.
Not that, is that when a team doesn't have their star player, yeah, they can band together and beat the Rams.
Yeah, it affects things down the
But there's going to be some game that they're going to be playing, like, maybe not even the Patriots. Maybe they go play the 49ers, and they just forgot how to play football without Derrick Henry randomly. And then they lose, like, 34-30.
Not that they were relying on Derrick Henry to do everything for them, but Derrick Henry was 75% of this offense.
Yeah. I mean, he only has 937.
He's still leading, and he hasn't played a week.
He only has 937 rushing yards this season. It's not that big of a deal.
What's second? Who's second?
Let me pull up the...
Yeah.
It's Jonathan Taylor at 821.
Okay, yeah. Jonathan Taylor will ever take him. Probably not next week. But Derrick Henry is on pace for like 23 yards or something this season. If not more than that.
I'm real sad.
Yeah.
Was hoping
Sucks that he's lost him. I've lost him on 2 fantasy teams. Still won both of those games somehow.
A guy traded me Terry McLaurin for Derrick Henry after he got injured. What he was hoping for is I did a little bit more digging. We were in the middle of a vote for keepers in the league.
Oh.
He tried to pull a fast one and be like, "Oh, I'll take Derrick Henry off your hands." So I was like, "Dope. Take Derrick Henry." No, on the keepers.
Keeper league.
And the keepers didn't pass. So he immediately tried to trade back, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know why you'd want to do this. This is weird.
Interesting.
So yeah, he tried to pull a fast one on me. But I mean, the Titans, both these teams are gonna make playoffs. Both teams. Yeah. I wasn't gonna say both teams are gonna win the division, but the Rams have the Cardinals. So I don't want to say that.
Rams would be the 5 seed.
Oh no. Wait, does that mean we're gonna play them?
4 seed. Whoever's the worst division winner.
No.
That's either gonna be y'all or somebody from the South.
Oh no. All right, so the season's over. Nice.
Stop it now.
But for the ending of Week 9, Chicago went into Pittsburgh in a nail biter.
A nail biter that shouldn't have been a nail biter, but a nail biter nonetheless.
Correct. The Pittsburgh Steelers ended up winning 29-27. There were some definite
questionable calls.
Yeah.
And if you follow anybody in the NFL on Twitter, you saw something about this game.
At work, because we have some Chicago Bears fans, someone today said that they were a Steelers fan, and one of the Bears fans said, "Hey, when did Pittsburgh start wearing black and white?" Yeah.
Oh, this game was
At halftime,
a dark time.
it's 14-3. Into the third quarter, it's 20-6. Pittsburgh is winning. You would assume it's done.
You'd assume it's basically over. They gotta overcome 2 possessions in the fourth quarter. Going back to what you were saying about if you give a team a 14-point lead, they should win the game. And up until the end of the game, it was looking the other way. The Bears did everything right in the fourth quarter. I'll say the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
They did everything right. And as much as this shouldn't affect games, I feel like officiating played a giant part of the outcome of this game.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that. And it's not even like, oh, if it wasn't for this one call, I can think of that one call, but there were multiple times where, and it went both ways. I'm not going to say that all the refs had money on Pittsburgh, because there were a few calls both ways that were extremely questionable.
Yeah.
There are a few more in one direction.
I mean, it's hard to win a game when you have 12 penalties for 115 yards.
Yeah, just that in itself. And more than half of those were warranted. More than half of those were very obvious holds or very obvious PIs.
Yeah.
There were a couple that weren't.
Yeah, taunting is a real questionable penalty now, and I don't know.
Dude got a taunting penalty for looking at the bench.
Yeah,
and then got hip checked by the ref.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's just a mess. But the Steelers are 5-3, and I don't think they're a 5-3 team.
3-5 team.
The Bears being 3-5 makes sense to me.
6. I will say Justin Fields looked better.
Is that
this
a
week.
6? Wow.
It's a 6. Yeah, Justin Fields looked better to me this week than he has in weeks past.
I would agree.
Still, only 1 touchdown. I'd like to see him do better than that. He's had 1 touchdown a game for 4 of his last 5.
I would say despite the pick and his completion percentage, this is the best he has looked.
And a lot of that has to do with him having to force things in the fourth quarter, being down by 14.
Yep.
With that in mind, I am satisfied with what happened here.
It is his second highest passer rating and his third highest QBR on the season. Fourth highest, sorry. I'm not going to count the first week. No. This is his, second highest passer rating and his third highest QBR this season.
Yeah, and the Bears lost this game on a last-second field goal. They missed it. Which, if we watched it, were you watching it? No, you went to bed.
I pulled up the game because I looked at Twitter and someone was like, "There's no way they come back," and I was like,
"Wait, what?" Yeah,
turn it on.
But if you watch the live broadcast, the way that they did it, the camera angle on that final field goal,
it was so short. They said that he hit the crossbar, but
so did you see the original angle, the live angle?
Where it was behind the
Yes.
Yeah,
it looked like it hit the crossbar. And then they did it from the side and he was 8 yards short.
Yeah. I looked at it and I was just concerned because I think the first bounce went toward the goalpost after it hit the ground.
That must have been it.
And I was like,
does that still count?
That if it hit the crossbar and then it bounced forward, it would be good.
Yeah,
but
it was a weird optical illusion. Yeah. Whatever happened there, it was just weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a 65 yarder
65,
or something like that. Yeah. He was about 8 yards short. They should have just went for the Hail Mary. Hindsight, but
I mean,
if I'm the Bears, I'm pissed off that we lost this game in that way.
Yeah.
Just as a whole. But I'm happy with Justin Fields right now. And if I'm the Steelers,
happier. I'm still not pleased.
I'm
with
happier, yes. And if I'm the Steelers, I'm very happy in Najee Harris. I know I've been saying multiple weeks now that I love Najee Harris. And I still wish the Falcons would have grabbed him because, oh my God, our run game.
He had an okay game. He averaged 2.8 yards a carry.
Well,
he's like,
they gave him a lot of the carries because they were up by 14 in the fourth quarter.
True. I don't know, man. This Steelers team, I'm shocked that they're 5-3.
Najee Harris has the second most attempts of all running backs right now, tied for second.
That's not good.
Averaging 3.6 yards a carry.
Because Najee Harris is 10th in rushing yards.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook has more yards and 2 less games. Nick Chubb has more yards and 1 less game.
Yeah, he's tied with Joe Mixon in attempts. With 1 less game than Joe Mixon.
I like how it's 150 for them and number 2, and then Derrick Henry at 219.
Derrick Henry is just obliterating all of the stats, just about.
Man, it sucks they got injured.
It's terrible that he got it.
But that will do it for Week 9. We're going to jump into our Week 10 predictions. We're going to run through this like we normally do. So Thursday night, Baltimore goes to Miami.
Or you could do that. Bye games this week. Chicago Bears, Bengals, Giants, Houston.
Yeah, only missing out on one good team. Or should be good team.
1.5. Well, I'll give both of them a half. Bears being the other one that I want Justin Fields to succeed so bad.
I want him to be good too, but let's be honest.
They're not doing it.
No.
But yeah.
So yeah, Thursday night, Baltimore goes to Miami. I think this is pretty
Lamar
straightforward.
Jackson by 15. Baltimore by 15.
Yeah, I agree. Baltimore. Atlanta to Dallas. This will be the first time me and Eddie are in the same place watching the game. If only I had money to buy us tickets. My bad. Anyways.
Jerry World. That's Jerry World.
Yeah. Atlanta goes into Dallas. I'm taking Dallas.
I'm taking Dallas.
Let's go! New Orleans.
Dallas in my Falcons jersey.
Unfortunately. New Orleans goes to Tennessee. I'm going to say Tennessee, but I'm going to say by Tennessee. 7 max.
Yeah, 1 possession.
Jacksonville goes to Indianapolis. I'm going to take Indy by 10.
Indy by a good bit, yeah.
Cleveland goes to New England. This game, I think, is going to be good.
I think this game is a coin flip. I think it's going to be good, but I think it's a coin flip.
I'm
taking the Browns.
That's what my gut's telling me.
Yeah, I want, as much as I want to say New England, because I don't trust. It's not because I think they'll win the game. It's because I don't trust Cleveland right now.
Cleveland by 2.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll take that.
Buffalo goes to the Jets. This is a game Buffalo should win, but if it's like last week, the Jets will win 10-7. So I'm taking Buffalo. Yeah. Detroit at Pittsburgh. I really want Detroit to get a win because I feel bad for him, but let's be honest.
I'm still hoping for 0-17. Pittsburgh by a mile.
Pittsburgh by less than a mile,
Pittsburgh by 6.
But more than 98% of a mile.
Pittsburgh by 6.
Tampa Bay at Washington. Washington's coming off a bye, but I'm taking Tampa.
I'm taking Tampa. Washington tanking.
Wait, is Tampa also coming off a bye? Did I go? Right.
Yes.
Right? They are.
Yes. They both are coming off a bye.
Yep. And Detroit's coming off a bye, but they play. Yeah, they're not going to win.
No.
So yeah, Tampa Bay.
Bye week somehow.
Did you see that tweet where it was like bye week 27, Detroit Lions 24, and I was like, man, imagine getting memed that hard. You're also taking Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
Okay. Carolina at Arizona. Arizona by 2 miles.
Arizona by 14 minimum. With
Mm.
Kyler Murray, I think Kyler Murray's back.
Yeah, I mean with. Okay, 2 miles with Kyler Murray, 1 mile with Colt McCoy. Minnesota goes to LA and they play the Chargers.
Chargers by less than 3.
I'm gonna go Minnesota, and this is gonna be a dumb game that they shouldn't win, and it's gonna be 4.
Oh,
still 1 possession.
I think I'm taking Chargers.
Philly at Denver. I'm gonna go Philly. I don't think Denver can duplicate what they did this week.
I am also going Philly.
And then I'm going Seattle at Green Bay. This is a reminder that it is Russell Wilson, and it should be Aaron Rodgers. So I'm gonna go Green Bay.
I'm going Green Bay. Seattle with Russell Wilson's a great team.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers with Green Bay is much better.
Yeah. Kansas City at Las Vegas. I'm going to pick Las Vegas.
I'm also going to pick Las Vegas, but I feel like this is going to be a very close game because they're both good teams who are just struggling right now.
I would agree.
But this is also the kind of game that'll end up being Kansas City 43, Vegas 6.
Please don't. Please don't. And then the last game, Monday night, the Rams will go murder the 49ers.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Thursday night and Monday night will be kind of meh.
Yeah, the primetime games outside of Sunday night could have been done better.
There's actually a lot of games this week that I would recommend watching, guys. Like, obviously, we're going to be watching Atlanta-Dallas, but that game could be close, but could also be really bad.
I appreciate
I would say New Orleans-Tennessee.
That's my favorite game.
Cleveland-New England. Minnesota-LA. I'm going to say Philly-Denver just because the teams are that close.
Because it could be good, yeah.
Seattle-Green Bay. It's two of the best quarterbacks of all time going up against each other. And then Kansas City and Las Vegas Sunday night. So we have some good games.
Pick a game on Sunday. Don't watch Thursday, Monday.
I mean, you can have the games on Thursday and Monday. Just don't pay attention.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah.
Oh, but that will do it for our Week 9 and Week 10 review/preview. Eddie, give me the fun fact number.
Okie doke. Your number is 759.
Is this the most wins by a team in franchise history?
It is not.
Is this the most wins by a coach in history?
Nothing to do with wins.
Is it yards?
This is an on-field stat.
Yards? Does it have to do with yards?
No yards.
$759 is the amount of points that have been left on the board by kickers missing the field goal this season.
No, but I would believe that, honestly. By the end of the season, yeah.
So on the field, you said not yards?
Not yards.
Is 759 the most starts in a row?
No, but closer. It's a on-field stat for a single player. No, it is not how many flags were Monday night.
There's only 17 Monday night. Gosh.
Yeah, but they were like 5 of the most impactful flags we'll see all season. I'm not even going to say that. Anyway.
7?
The stat is for a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Is it the most starts as a quarterback?
Not the most starts.
And it's not most consecutive starts.
Not most consecutive.
Is it the most passes without throwing an interception?
No, but you are red hot.
The most interceptions thrown in history.
No. Jameis Winston's not done with his career.
Most passes, most.
You are right there.
Most. Does it have to do with quarterbacks though?
Hall of Fame quarterback.
Most
specifically, one quarterback.
Most. I'm like, you said that I'm red hot, so I don't want to have you give it away because I'm right there. But I'm trying to think of like how I can change most passes in a season without throwing a pick.
Nope. It is most passes something.
So it's not interceptions. Is it the most? Is it the most? This would be crazy. I don't think it's this, but I'll say it. Most consecutive pass attempts without throwing a touchdown.
No, but that's even closer.
What? Most consecutive.
You are so close.
Is it just the most consecutive completions? No.
No, that would be something though.
Hold on a second. Who's that
That
guy?
would be. I
How
think
many
that's
Super Bowls
like.
did that guy win?
I think that would be like. That's
Most
probably around
most
like
consecutive passes.
You got 2 more guesses. You got.
Dude, I can't. Just.
It is the most consecutive pass attempts without taking a sack.
Without taking a sack? Holy snap! Who was that?
Dan Marino.
And that man did not win a Super Bowl.
759 pass attempts without taking a sack. 19 games. Yeah. How do you not win a Super Bowl if you don't get sacked for over a season? It wasn't. It was like the second half of one season into the first half of another season, but still. September 25th, 88 to October 29th, 89. He did not take a sack.
Well,
759 pass attempts without taking a sack. For reference, for the 2018 season, Drew Brees was sacked 9 times in 300 pass attempts. 2018.
that hurts my brain. Like, how do you not win? I don't. Whatever.
The next closest, I actually don't know if this is the next closest. This is just what this article says. It's what sparked this article.
Mhm.
In 2018, Andrew Luck went 4 consecutive games without a sack.
Wow, 4 games.
So if that's the next closest, and I would believe that that's the next closest.
Wait, he went 4 games, and the record has 19 games?
I would believe 4 games without a sack is up there.
I thought that would be the record.
Exactly. 19 games. 19 consecutive
That's how Dan Marino
games
was
without a
so
sack.
good, because he was never hit.
Something offensive line.
It's real easy to be good when you don't get hit. I mean, let's get. He was a really good quarterback.
Dan Marino was also very good at throwing the ball very fast.
And very far.
He did not hold on to the ball. Yeah, he did not hold on to the ball very long, which bodes well for that too. But 19 games? Yeah. That's hard to comprehend.
I want someone to watch all those games back and tell me how many times he was like about to get sacked and then threw the ball away and see like how many.
Swan.
I want you to watch 19 football games. Go.
Yeah, that's I don't know how I stumbled on this, as is with most of the things that I find. But yeah, 19 consecutive games, 759 passes before getting sacked. Which means, I don't know if this is better or worse, in 761 passes, he was sacked twice. I don't know if that's better or worse.
I don't know. I'm done. It hurts my brain. I don't know, man. Oh, well, that will do it for episode 51, everyone. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. If you are on the Twitch chat, we appreciate you guys. Reminder, we do stream all of our episodes on Twitch at twitch.tv/meme streams 32 teams. You can find us there every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central, unless something else happens. And if
we will tweet about it.
We will tweet about it.
Something else does happen. Like, I don't know, maybe Braves are in the World Series.
I don't know. Go Braves.
Go Braves.
I'm gonna censor it. The Astros.
I won't. Yeah, I will.
So yeah, you can find us on Twitter at memes32 teams. We'll tweet when, like, if there is a change in schedule. We also tweet about other things going on in the football space. But tweet at us. You know, if you agree with what we say, if you disagree, etc.
Let us know.
If you
think somebody did more than 759 pass attempts without being sacked, let us know.
Dude, that's so many pass attempts.
It's 19 games worth.
It hurts my brain.
Yeah, it's impressive. But yeah, tweet us.
Yeah,
watch us. YouTube video.
We're on YouTube. Just search Memes,
Oh.
Dreams, search your teams. And you can find us on SoundCloud and Spotify as well. Just search Memes, Dreams, 32 teams.
We tend to try to keep these close to an hour.
We have been doing that.
Never done that.
There's a lot to talk about, though. During the
Yeah.
off season, it's much easier because we can sort of start to wrap
condense
things.
it,
Yeah. But during the season, it's really hard to prioritize what to talk about. One episode thing. We could always do 2 episodes and talk more and etc. But that's 2 episodes. But again, we appreciate you guys. We're on Twitch, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Twitter. Find us on all of those. But we will see you guys next time for episode 52. Hope you guys enjoy week 10. Enjoy the rest of your week and enjoy your weekend. We love you guys and peace.
Go Braves.